Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Violet Evergarden, episode 13, the finale.
After this, the show is over. Ugh.
Yes.
Then we'll have to go back to regular animation, right?
But you know, it's been a fun run.
It has.
Specifically, a lot of good character development for Violet.
Yep.
A character that, you know, for all the kuderes out there, I would say got some proper attention.
Yes.
They never really shifted the focus, you know, completely away from her as a character.
Right. They stuck to their guns.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've got Dietfried. I'm not calling him Dietfried anymore. He's in the story.
As much as I may want to.
And
it's probably for the best, yeah.
Violet saved his life just now.
She did.
Yeah. There was a grenade. We don't know what the effects of that grenade are yet, so I'm assuming that she saved his life at least.
Yeah. And her arms seem to be more or less okay because of the look that they showed from her afterwards, you know? Like in that split second. But yeah, we'll have to see what exactly happened.
Yeah. All right, guys. Without further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys. We're gonna start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Oh, so good. Ooh.
Wait.
What were those cables?
I think what attaches the arm.
Wow. Violet.
No opening. Beneath this dress is more than flesh.
Whoa. Dang.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Awesome. Wow. Throwing it while they're moving in the train and stuff.
Yeah.
That thing must be heavy.
And it's... Like, I never realized how big it is, but, like, in her hand, that thing's huge.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Oh, no, the bridge is gonna blow. No.
Oh, dang.
Oh my gosh.
That's bad.
Oh.
Okay.
That's how strong Violet is. Jeez.
Yeah. But this isn't exactly a good place to be stopped for...
Yeah.
Well, he's dead from that, for sure.
Whoo! Wow. Oh. She's found the bomb. Or at least one of them. What? Did his foot just...
No, it's those high heels that come in handy so much.
Yeah,
but
he kicked the bomb off.
Holy crap, has he always had moves like this? I mean, Benedict, really, like...
Yeah.
That's some Ghost in the Shell stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Oh!
Makes you wonder how Benedict managed to get it off. Did it come off?
Yeah,
okay.
it did.
It did.
But she's
But
falling.
she has no arms now. How can she...
She's falling, too. Whoa. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No way. What kind of superhuman, like, juice does he drink? And then, of course, the rain just looks so gorgeous.
Yeah. Wow. Gorgeous sunrise and... oh. Wow.
Okay.
Cool. So, it's a very happy ending, and
yeah.
Violet's okay, and she lost her arms, but...
And I get the feeling...
Yeah. 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 That's awesome. Hmm. Hmm. So she got new arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Yes, for
Yeah.
a very specific soldier. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Wow. Wow. crazy to think how far she's come, because
Yeah.
in this moment, that's all she can interpret it as.
Yep.
It's like speaking another language, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He almost needed to die for her to be free.
Sure.
Dang. Yeah. Understandably. But I still don't understand, like, how to say them. You know, how to express them. Oh,
Yeah.
that, yeah. Oh, of course.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. I have something to show you. Oh. Oh. Whoa.
Same color eyes.
Yeah.
Now he could mean.
Yeah. That's why she said once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Oh. Wow.
in the background.
Right.
Ooh.
Cool. Oh, good. Good. Nice. Oh, all
right.
There you go.
All right.
Yep. Ah, and she gave it back.
Uh-huh.
The mom didn't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Even
right?
the snowflakes, like, they're not just round dots. Like, you can actually see the different shapes
Yep.
of them and stuff. It's amazing. Like, holy crap.
One sentence. Oh, they're killing us with like not being able to see exactly what.
Yeah. Is her right
exactly
hand
what
the
she
only one
wrote.
that works now, though?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because
She was typing with just one hand.
Right.
Yeah. Aw. Aw. Hey. We get to watch an air show together. Yeah.
Here's the thing I'm wondering, though. With all the crazy stunts that Benedict pulled off,
Yeah.
will he still have confidence issues with the lady?
Ah! Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Ah, reach them. Nice.
Did it reach them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Oh. Ah!
Wait, it's Benedict.
Benedict!
It's Benedict, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh! Wait! What kind of letter is that? So they're gonna have a kid?
Yeah.
Wow! Whoa.
Wow.
So that's what they do with the letters. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
Because this is what, like...
That's really cool. And then
Yeah.
you can pick up one and be like, oh, what's this, you know? Yeah.
Okay, alright.
all animated, colored, drawn beautifully. You know?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just so gorgeous.
They're flexing on us big time.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
There we go.
Mmm. Yeah, the smile. A little. Just a little.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then him turning, walking away. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, oh, man.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh.
Whoa. Yeah, let's just focus on this. What?
This is so gorgeous.
And those clouds and
yeah.
Oh my god.
Violet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
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 Oh. Wait. Wait.
Okay.
But what was that letter?
Just that's a good question. I don't know. Wait. Even the grass is moving.
Yeah. Wow.
Why aren't they showing the person, though? What?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. That's
All right.
it. That's it. We are going to, just to clarify with you guys there, we are going to do OVA reaction.
Right.
To the one that comes up after this before we move on to the next.
Why not? It's
next
more
series.
Violet Evergarden.
Yes. In particular, this series is very short, and we would love to have more time with the characters. And
Exactly.
Such. But yeah, we had a nice end cap on all of the character arcs.
We did.
With regards to Dietfried and Violet, and even in some ways some of the side characters. They put in little touchstones to basically showcase that people were able to understand each other a little bit better. I liked how they're like, yeah, Benedict and Erica, why not? There's nothing. There's nothing like, specifically building up that.
Right, but why not?
Why not?
But
and then Catalia and Hodgins. It's like, well, yeah, we saw that coming,
right? But like the idea of like they're gonna have a baby girl,
have a baby, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
But specifically all the moments with Dietfried,
Yep.
Gilbert's mother,
and
that was Violet. Good. Those were really, really good because Violet's gone on this journey for a while now. If we start with the time that she was working under Dietfried, the time when she was a tool essentially, and had no understanding of emotion, could experience emotion,
but didn't know what it was exactly. Yeah.
I love that they added in that extra scene that we hadn't seen before between her and Gilbert.
Oh yeah,
like. That's a really painful scene to watch, knowing what comes up in the future.
Right.
And especially since that was one of their final moments together.
Yeah.
But it raises an interesting question. Jacob, do you feel like the story is trying to make the point, slightly, that he kind of needed to die in order for her to truly live free?
Kind of. Because, like, it's one of those things where he was her entire world with good reason, right?
Yeah.
But in order to, fully be Violet Evergarden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did kind of need him to die. Because I don't know if she would have been able to move on like they showed so nicely here if he had still been alive.
Yeah, it's tough because we don't know what would have happened, but we can very much see how him dying did set her on a path to dealing with emotion, because it pushed an extreme emotion into her life that she couldn't truly ignore.
Right.
And the thing that I loved about it was that the series started off with Hodgins basically saying, "You have burns on you. And if you don't deal with them, you're going to burn up. Like you're burning right now." And basically the emotions that she was trying to suppress essentially by just doing how she normally does. She needed to address them, and her denial that Gilbert was dead. Her
and she didn't know, so it's like, okay, but yeah.
But on some level, I always wondered back to those moments and kind of thought like, they lied to her and were like, he's just not here or something. But
would she have been able to put two and two together that, he's gone?
Yeah. Yeah. And then if she, when she was told that, Gilbert's dead, how long was she in denial from that? Like, it was for a decent amount of time. It wasn't for a long amount of screen time, but it was for a decent amount of time for her to be like, no, that's you guys are liars. You guys,
They overall dealt really well with the passage of time in this show. Like,
that's a good point.
Because sometimes each episode would span several weeks, right? And they would do these little montages, and it would work just fine. But then in between the episodes, they would put little time skips in there, and it would work just fine, because since they were focusing so singularly on Violet, really, there would be the characters in each individual episode, of course, but because they were focusing so much on Violet, I never felt like there was, like, I was lost when they did a time skip, because it's like, okay, yeah, I know, I can sort of tell where Violet's going to be at around this point, and all the other characters, well, they weren't really developed enough to have an arc that they were on, so it wasn't much of a question when there was a time skip of where they were at. It's like, they're still putting in their hours at Hodgins' business, right?
Right.
But oh man,
yeah.
Still though, my favorite episode, looking back on it all, is episode 10.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's just the best episode.
It's just so good.
It's a masterpiece. It's truly an execution concept and everything. It's a perfect episode.
The power of a simple story, and this whole story, like this whole show, was very simple. And I think that really was one of its strengths. The visuals didn't hurt either, by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, and they were used to great effect in specific instances to try and give a form of visual storytelling for the characters.
Yeah.
Like there were certain directing choices as to, you know, focusing on this angle, so to speak, of
Right.
Violet. This, you know, this specific lighting, this specific transition, this specific set of frames of, you know, different beautiful moments of, you know, nature display in between different emotional scenes and such.
Right. Kind of.
Yeah, and I would say that the main thing this series has going for it is the main character does things in a very compelling way, but also it knows in a lot of ways when to take its time. It's one of the weird things is that the show is an episodic, you know, story
Right.
for the most part.
Yeah.
But there are moments within the episodic episodes where they will actually linger and they'll actually, you know, explore the emotion that's going on within the scene.
Yep.
And then have the characters be cleverly put into the story in a plot reason for the actual story to be about exploring the emotion, not just us watching them kind of experience the, you know, the gamut of emotions that would be going through those going through that specific story. So
Yeah, I feel like that was because there were a lot of moments where not much was happening on screen as far as plot went,
or like even being said,
but because they would basically match the setting, the scenery, and all of that stuff to the emotions that they were trying to have going on with the characters.
Right.
They were, and especially for someone like Violet, who is not very expressive of emotion, having such an immersive visual and auditory experience really helped to basically be like, yes, I'm all the emotions that she's feeling, even if they're on a very small, subtle scale.
Yes,
I felt in tune with them.
Right,
which was really good.
Yeah, it never really felt like, especially with Violet, that we were unable to harmonize with her. I feel like the main thing that, if anything, the emotional side of things had a little bit of trouble with was just the fact that the story was episodic. So you had you had moments where they would bank on the execution of a specific character,
right?
And if it didn't work out on a subjective you know, viewpoint, then you know, it just didn't work out.
Yep.
So you know, that's something to think about. But that's kind of just a thing for a 13 episodic series. There's nothing to say that Violet could have done it better. That just might be just like, no, that's just the best you can do, and it's still good. The other really big thing I think that this series really nailed was the idea of an arc, just a character going on an arc.
Yep.
I think that having your main character go on a legitimate story arc over the course of an episodic plot-based story, it's pretty impressive.
It is, and it makes me really glad that they had this show be 13 episodes and not like you know, a full 2 cours. Because budget aside, right? One of the reason that Kyoto Annie was able to give us such a stunning masterpiece is probably because it was 1 core, but also the fact that it was episodic in structure. If it had been 2 cores, I feel like it would have felt a lot more repetitive. Whereas with what they did, they were able to set up scenarios that were different enough and basically explored the topic of what does it mean to say I love you from different angles and in different ways. That I felt like even if the plot of that particular episode was not my favorite or whatever, it still, I feel, concretely added to Violet's arc as a character, as opposed to having a few episodes that all sort of deal with the same thing, and then another few episodes that all deal with sort of the same thing, or even worse, one episode that deals with one thing, a few episodes where there's nothing, and then another episode that deals with something, like that kind of stuff.
Right. Each episode added to Violet's arc, like you said, in a concrete way, and also in a unique way. I think there were episodes where you saw crossover, but what I actually saw was a blending, almost like a painting. Right. So when you're using like watercolors, for instance, you have the paint start at an extreme on one end, and then you blend it out with water, and then the paint creeps along the water in a kind of a continuous fade as it, you know, basically traverses from the extreme side all the way to where the canvas doesn't have any water. And I feel like Violet's character arc starts off with her kind of being set in this extreme area of just not having emotion, not having or at least not understanding emotion,
Right.
not having a lot of agency as a character, you know, basically just being set up in this way as having, you know, befallen a traumatic, tragic experience. And we're very easily able to relate with her, you know, going through something horrible. But what actually, I would say, endeared us to her was that over time, she starts to choose the direction she wants her life to go. She starts to make these little decisions here and there that amount up to her caring about what Gilbert's I love you meant.
Yep.
And we start to realize, oh my gosh, this is a story that's not really just exploring Violet's character arc in relation to love and in relation to another character, but it's exploring humanity's journey through basically understanding what love is. And we're going to get to see different expressions of that across multiple, I would say, generally dramatic examples of that.
Yeah, of
ones
course.
where you know, things aren't. Well, there's generally some kind of conflict.
Right.
And
yes.
and it's not all, I would say, like, even for the majority of it, it's not all happy. It's not all something that has to be about having a resolution to their stories in a way that's not just satisfying, I would say, for them, but in a way that shows them, I would say, having more than just understanding.
Right. Even though the resolution is most of the time there, and it is usually quite good.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about the objective value of the resolution. I'm saying that most of them don't end up having any kind of happy ending. They understand what the person's love is, but most of them don't end up in such a way where it's about them. You know,
the princess and the prince. That was a very specific story.
Happy ending.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, like, the other ones, it's like, you know,
they're bittersweet.
Yeah. Like
you know, for the majority.
With the dad, it's like happier than he was before. You know.
Yeah.
But like, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about them going through some plot progression as it is with them going through a character progression.
Right, it's the differentiation between what the character wants and what the character needs. You know,
Right.
so very few of the characters got what they wanted, the princess probably being the one that did.
Yeah. And then maybe somewhat Luculia.
Yeah.
But then you even have ones like the boy in the astronomy
Yep.
library where it's very happy, but it's also very sad because he's still going to end up being alone at the end of this. And it's not saying that he will remain alone. It's that the future is open
The future
now.
can be bright and full of possibility.
Yeah, but there's nothing definite. There's nothing about it that says you're guaranteed to find, you know, any of these good things. You have to go and seek it out.
Yep.
And I think that there's a lot about this show that I could see some people looking at and being like, oh, this is very kind of a message-driven show. You know, there's a lot about it where they're trying to communicate some kind of point or value or, like I said, message in every single episode.
And it works very well because in a lot of ways, I mean, one, the story is literally about messages.
Yeah.
Two, it has a very singular theme that the main character needs to understand. So the fact that they format it in sort of a what lesson did we learn today kind of a thing works really well because the main character is learning a lesson, you know.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
And I would say, you know, outside of maybe some weird transitions between episodes, the actual flow from each one kind of building off on each other is really good. There's especially, I would say, a sequence of episodes from like episode 6 to like episode...
Yeah, like 6 through 10, probably.
Yeah, maybe 6
through 11.
Maybe 6 through 11, actually.
Yeah.
Where they flow really well into each essentially lesson or message about understanding love, building on each other, and then utilizing the context of whatever that episode's plot is to show Violet reacting in a lot of ways to that in a... and this is kind of a run-on sentence, but in a way of expressing where she's at along the track of this, in that she is moving. And I think that in the beginning, they wanted to more or less introduce a lot of characters and it kind of slows Violet's arc down to a crawl.
Yeah, because they're still kind of like setting up everything, and
Violet still doesn't know that Gilbert's dead, or if she has any suspicion of it, she's in denial of that.
Yeah, and she's still learning to process her emotions and all that stuff, so she's not really to the point where she can properly go on an arc because she doesn't even know that the arc exists.
Yeah, she does know that. She does know that she's here to understand what love is and what specifically Gilbert's "I love you" meant. So I'd say the main thing is yes, I'm with you. But do you think it's more not that her character arc, she's not aware of it, but she doesn't have the tools necessary yet to actually move forward on the arc?
That's much more accurate.
So she's looking at the auto memoir doll situation as basically being like, oh, this is the training arc that I need to go on in order to actually be able to do this properly. And she understands the whole idea of military training. So when she goes to the school, she instantly gets it down, you know.
No, Caleb, the training arc is what we just watched. You know, there's the train, you know, and
you know who doesn't need to go on a training arc is Benedict, because holy crap.
Yeah,
boy has muscle.
Boy busted out some moves this episode, like holy
maybe
crap.
maybe that's why Erica fell for him.
Yeah, I mean
she was on the train, right? Wait, no, Catalia was on the train.
Catalia and Iris?
I don't think Iris was on the train.
No, maybe not.
I think it was just Catalia and Benedict. Benedict. I don't even think
Benedict Habersnatcher.
Habersnatch Cumberbund,
yeah. But what probably happened is Catalia came back and she was like, "Whoo, Hodgins, the things that this boy did," and he's like, "What? No, the train." You know. And she's like, "You should have seen him. He was on fire." And Erica's just like, what, huh? What, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, okay.
Or maybe Benedict got confident, like you said, after that, and he wrote literally a letter to, like, 12 different women, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna cast my net far and wide.
I stopped a train from being bombed, okay, that was one of the things, alright, Benedict's hand-eye coordination and strength aside.
Right.
How in the hell did he jump kick off a bomb that was bolted with like steady, structurally strong metal bolts to the side of a metal bridge? One, how did his leg not like break off? Two, how did he not keep going all the way down? But like Violet literally went all Ghost in the Shell to pull that thing off. And he just sort of like, I'll just jump down and pong.
I use gravity and my ridiculous boots.
Yeah, they were, what it probably was is
those boots were like
the boots
metal,
were like
titanium,
steel reinforced and everything. So it just
he didn't even feel it.
Yep.
If anything, that would actually be really cool though. I don't know if they showed that it was a huge time skip. I'm pretty sure there wasn't really any time skip between that and the air show. The air show was probably like a month later. Like,
I mean, she got her arms back, but you know.
Yeah, but I would say it's not more than it would take for a broken foot to heal. Because when you actually go and look at when he kicks it, the boot crumples.
Yeah, the heel definitely snaps off like a twig.
Yeah, but that would actually be a really badass thing. Is that he comes back and he has to put a cast on and he has to, you know, basically hobble around and stuff. Yeah. And then what you could have is Erica being like, "Oh, let me help you." And it's like, oh,
that's what the OVA is.
Probably. Oh, yeah. Sure.
But then the idea that after all of that, when Violet's falling, he's hanging Pacha style from like a curved metal thing. Like he can't do anything, and then somehow he like maneuvers over and grabs her.
Was he in the circus?
He was already supporting his own freaking body weight. Do you know how much force the human body generates when it's just under the effect of gravity, even for a short amount of time? Like, he was basically lifting a building right there, like a small building, like, or maybe not a building, like a car, like a car with one arm while holding himself up.
So people are going to misinterpret what you said, so you should explain why you said a car.
Yeah, so basically So Force equals mass times acceleration, right? So the normal weight of something is the acceleration of just gravity, right? But the thing is that, okay, well, no, so the force times acceleration, in order to slow it down, he must provide enough acceleration to quickly stop the speed, which is going to be quite high due to gravity, to 0, right?
Yeah. And he did this while supporting his own body weight.
And he did this while supporting his own body weight with one arm and then the other arm. Like that's inhuman right there. Like I would be surprised.
I mean, Jacob, Violet exists.
Yeah, but she, like, even with her cybernetically enforced arms, she had to rip them off in order to get the ball.
I'm not saying that her strength has anything to do with this. I'm talking about the fact that she's actually like a child soldier, basically, that went all like Terminator over the course of the war years ago.
This
ago.
Is true.
So this is their anime physics stuff.
But it's like, but seriously, what does that boy drink every morning? Because like get me some of that. Yeah, like that. Like I can imagine Hodgins just being like no, he wasn't there, but or was he? No,
I don't think so. No.
But seriously, like that is ridiculous.
Yeah. So Violet, opens up in this episode with saving Dietfried. Yep. I love the shot of her getting shot, and the cables and the arm basically just falling apart as she's blocking the bullets. There's something about this where, back when the series first started, I was like, oh, Violet's like some kind of homunculus, and it doesn't really matter like what she is, but she's a person. Like, she's a person. That's the important thing. When she's saving Dietfried's life right there, he's in shock. Like, he's just disbelief that this is happening. To the point where he forgets that he has a gun and he can just shoot the other guy. And her doing this, in a lot of ways to him, I think still at that point, he was wrestling with the idea of her still being a tool and doing this because, he's her, SO.
Right.
And, he's like, well, she has to do this. But then he's like, but wait. Like, she's also, like, there's a whole lot of, like, I would say nuance to the fact that he's enamored by this whole thing happening. And then the last scene we have with them is him basically thinking she's still a tool. So he's basically going to give her an order that will basically do the same thing of what Gilbert did, which is, live and be free. And back then, she was a tool, so she interpreted that from Gilbert as an order, and didn't understand why he got upset and frustrated with that, that was a heartbreaking, just beautiful scene. But then in this moment, she's like, I don't need orders. I don't need any orders anymore. Yeah. And you could see, like, he was about to bust out crying. Like, that guy realized, like in the respect that he honored what his brother decided to do. Like, he is probably in some ways thinking, like, wow, my brother's the better man. Like, that guy, like, he didn't see her as a tool. But he was obviously thinking also, like, well, did that really work? Like, doesn't change her nature, Right. And then in this case, he realized, oh my God, it did. Like, it did. Whatever he did actually changed her, because she had to make choices along the way that also changed her. Like, he got the ball rolling. Violet kept it moving. But the thing is that it's almost like he's, in some ways, I almost feel like him being reacting that way, he almost can, like, feel his brother beyond the grave through Violet's words, and he's just like, like it's good stuff.
The part that hit, for some reason, I'm not sure why, but the part that hit me the hardest with Dietfried is when he takes Violet to his house, or his mother's house, right, the family manor, and they sit down together and they're talking, Violet and his mother.
Gotcha. So this is not a Dietfried moment?
This is a Dietfried moment, but it's not. He just sort of is watching this, and then he just turns and leaves. That part, I don't know why. But that shot of him just watching them together and then slowly turning and leaving, That
Why does that hit you?
I don't know. I think maybe it's because he wasn't able to help his mother, you know?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And here this other person is that he scorned and looked down on so much, right? That he thought of as a tool is now
only a weapon.
Right, only a weapon is now the one that's basically helping his mother emotionally get through this, whereas he hasn't been able to. Like
bringing people together.
Bringing people together.
Oh.
Like that. Yeah, that was just.
I gotcha. Yeah.
That, like, of course I wasn't thinking any of that at the time, but I just saw that and I was just like, okay,
there's something there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, also, I figured out why Violet was having trouble with the bomb. She took a grenade to the arms and they got shot a bunch. so they probably weren't in perfect structural integrity at that point in time. So maybe it makes a little bit more sense, that Benedict was able to kick the bomb off. Just putting aside the fact that he knew it was there and was able to find it and see it and all that and everything, and that he was able to stop his own fall and all that, But
yeah.
Her arms had already taken a beating, so
gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, I see how that could work.
Yeah. But still, I want whatever Benedict drinks in the morning because that's good stuff.
So you can have the confidence with women as well.
No, I just want to be able to do superhuman feats of strength and hand-eye coordination and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The real confidence that he has.
I diagnose just ultimate frisbee. Just play lots of ultimate frisbee.
Yeah.
You'll eventually get the not feats of strength, but the feats of dexterity, kind of
Gotcha.
He's talking about.
I think those are more hands of dexterity, though.
It's still hand-eye coordination.
No, but he wasn't using his feet. Is the thing?
Oh, no. There's still feats of dexterity in there. Yeah. You toe the line.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some ways you can do. Another big moment, obviously, and this is the whole letter, and in that scene at the very end, where she has a part of a letter or just a sentence.
Right.
I wonder if they're trying to make the point, because we can't read that. It's in a language that doesn't exist. So are we supposed to insinuate that the letter that we heard her write is not actually what she wrote? That's what she wanted to write. And what she actually wrote is just that one sentence.
Sure.
And it's not really important to us what that sentence is, because it's to Gilbert. But she wants to communicate all these things.
Yeah. That was after the whole letters being dropped from the plane, and I think the assumption what they set up was that it was dropped from the plane and that ended up in the field of the violets.
Yeah, well, there's no real time. We don't know exactly if that time thing if that was a jump back in time or not.
Okay, possibly, because there was a time skip.
Yeah, I'm with you. It totally could be just a linear progression of time.
But here's something it could be if it was linear.
Okay, what's that?
Routine status updates. Just what she doesn't have to keep it to just one letter. She can keep sending him letters.
Oh, or also the status update thing. That was something that the reports. Remember, she would write him reports and stuff.
Yeah.
What if this is her being I don't need to send reports anymore?
Oh.
Because I'm moving on.
Okay.
And that's what the whole next scene was about, of her going to the next letter and being we will go everywhere fast.
Right. That little bit of surprise when she looked up, though, that was kind of what are you trying to do here, show?
I wouldn't read it into that at all.
Well, no. I know it's not Gilbert. I know it's not Gilbert.
I would say just don't read into it at all with regards to the character standing in front of her.
Okay.
I think it's the fact that she smiled. Because if you look, actually, when she looks up, she smiles. And I think that's kind of the,
maybe,
she has emotion. That's her.
Right, but
that's her loving what she's doing. That's
her
loving.
Surprise there.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Hey, watch. We'll watch the OVA. And this person that Violet's, giving a letter to, will find out is some long lost lover of Gilbert's. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure. Or it's no.
It's
No,
Gilbert's long lost
no,
twin.
no,
I'm just kidding.
no. There's okay. They don't have to do this. They
What?
don't have to do this, but they could.
What?
It's deep fried. I want to write a letter to my brother.
Oh.
See? That's how they could do it.
Sure.
Like, because otherwise, yeah, it doesn't matter who it is, right? Because
I think because they didn't do the deep freed thing in this episode, it's
not happening. Yeah, good point. Because he did.
I like
his
the
moment
theory.
with the sun.
I just wish it would have happened in this episode.
Right?
Actually,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
didn't do it because I think they wanted his moment to be about the orders being given.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that was a
Yeah.
good scene to end on with him.
It was.
It also had some humor in there with the whole air show and them all being together and then being like, "You call this a letter?" And
Yeah.
and then Erica's like, "I wrote a love letter." They're like, "Oh, who is it?" And then Benedict says like, "Yo," and she looks up, "Huh?"
And
like, I wrote a letter too. And they're like, and Erica's Iris is like, "Oh," and it's
Yeah.
like, "I wrote it to Hodgins," and they're like, "Ah!" Just like that's kind of fun because as it's over, as the show's over, I felt like there were a lot of moments where they could have milked, I would say, the emotional kind of response from everything, but instead they were like, we've got a lot of actual things to cover, and we're actually going to linger on the environments more to show the passage of time, and how you know much people have changed and stuff, rather than lingering on kind of the gut wrenching emotional moments. I think they did it a little bit with Violet's letter, and that's a good thing. But then they also,
if not then when?
Right.
And then of course in episode 10, because
So guys, this is awesome. This is episode 13. If you want to watch the OVA reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories, Violet Evergarden, or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.